A very happy Deepavali to each and everyone who is celebrating, and to the people who are not celebrating, celebrate with us. It is that festival with uh, actually illuminates each and every corner of the society, of the world, and of the self. So, illumination is actually good. When we are talking about enlightenment, we are talking about illuminating our own soul. So, with this, I start the second episode of Yog Sutras. You can call it the Kundalini Kriya Yog, you can call it Kriya Yog, but it is the Yog Sutras that we are talking about. And what I want to emphasize more is that how this particular source of enlightenment is actually that path which is also the oldest Vedic Sanatan truth. See, we all know that truth has only one dimension. There is no secondary truth, there is no first truth, there is not a third truth. So, truth is only one. So, how do we achieve that truth which is within ourselves? When we are talking about this eight path of the Yog Sutras, we are talking about the Patanjali Yog Sutras, that is actually a fragmentization of a very bigger aspect of the Sanatan Dharma. How is it bigger? When we take Patanjali Yoga Sutra, it is actually, as I said previously, it is one of the uh, stand-ons. If you hear to the actual yogi of the yogis, Lord Shiva, in Shiv Puran, he describes this particular way of attaining the enlightenment within an human soul. He says how you can achieve your own higher dimension. So that is what we are talking about, that is what we are discussing about, how we can achieve our own higher dimension. What is yoga? Yoga is just a tool which we are using in our modest path. So for this, as we previously said, that there are 8 paths which we start with. Now, how do we start with the first part? Today, we are going to talk about yamas. Yamas, or yams, actually, is basically the 5 principle of resentments. These are the restrictions that we put ourselves on us. There is no one who is putting it onto you. It happens only when you are interested to do it. It is never happened by somebody else's direction. It can never happen. And trust me, if you see, if you say that my so-called guru has asked me to do this, that's why I am doing, it is not the actual case. Your mind wanted the guru. Your mind wanted to get liberated. You yourself had that urge within yourself to know the truth. That is when you actually get the success. Otherwise, you just keep on hopping from one person to the other, to other person to the other, to other person to the other. This guru is not good because he criticizes me. This guru is not good because he is asking me to do something challenging. This guru is not according to my parameters. This guru is not up to my mark in his wealth. So you keep on hopping. The process starts only when you yourself are interested to change yourself. That is the first time when you understand that when you are pointing to some wrong, you are actually pointing three fingers to yourself, being the cause of it. A wrong has happened to you, and you are actually the cause of it. You understand that? That's why you want to make the change. And as we say, that if you want a change within yourself, you have to happen the change yourself. If you want change in your surrounding, first you need to change. It's always it. So here, the yams, what we are imposing a certain restrictions on ourselves, starts with our physical form first. We elaborated all the 8 limbs of Ashtanga Yoga. So this time I am starting out directly with the first yoga. That is the yamas, the 5 moral restrictions that we are putting onto us. On that, the first thing is ahimsa. Ahimsa, when this Sanskrit word is translated into English, it happens to means non-violence. Now, suppose you are non-violent to animals. Is that enough? No. That is actually a very pseudo non-violence that you are doing. Because what is not an animal and where is it not present? If you are breathing also, you are breathing animals. You have seen many Jain munis covering their this part portions so that they don't inhale the animals. Very good. What about your skin? Your skin is also a type of absorbent. It absorbs, it keeps on absorbing the dirts, the soils, and in soil there are so many minute germs, pollutions. So you are never free of animals. You are never free with the animal kingdom. So what you are talking about as non-violence to animals, you should be thinking about non-violence towards organism in a totality. So if I talk about the world of organism, that itself is going to take about 50-60 minutes and the whole episode is going to cover it. So let's not discuss that. But ahimsa needs to be translated into your daily principles. Now, how that can be? What I have done, I will say you that. Being kind. Being kind is enough. Because if I stay in a position, in a place where I will have to have an non-vegetable diet. Everyone knows I am a Bengali person. That's not what the thing is. But suppose I am placed in a position. I have literally stayed there. In a place where only meat is available as food. And I say that I am a very Ahimsa Badi. I am a very non-violent person. And I will not eat what is served to me. Only I can restrain myself without eating anything. I will not eat anything at all over there. At that kind of a temperature, at that kind of a environment, it is next to impossible to survive. With survival challenges, you will have to adapt yourself to your environment. So being kind with who are with you is the actual ahimsa that you are doing. If to start with yoga, you'll have to start with yourself first. You will have to be kind to yourself first. If you are not kind to yourself, you are not kind to your family, you are not kind to your friends, you are not kind to your environment, you are not kind to your pets. What type of ahimsa are you doing? You got to question yourself. Now, what does this kindness means and what are the thresholds? Because if I say you be kind and someone comes and slaps you, you will say Ma has told to be kind, so I won't retaliate. No, I'm not asking you to be that kind of an ahimsa badi. You get a slap, give back 2, if not 10. So first of all, be kind to yourself. Don't accept anything from anyone that goes against the physical, mental and the soul health. That's the first type of kindness I want to teach. I have taught that even to my son. I have taught this, I say the same thing to my disciples also. And that is what I am teaching you also. Because that is what the Sanatan is. Sanatan has never asked you to take down your bows and arrows, to take down all your weapons because you are ahimsa badi. You should learn how to protect first, how to be kind to yourself first. A very contradictory feature. Till now you have heard that being kind is absorbing everything. No, it is actually not. Because that kind of kindness is not going to pay you back. And anything that is not paid back is the actual restriction of the nature. If you don't pay back to the nature will retaliate. If not today, but tomorrow, but day after, but day after. That is what nature teaches you. And Dharma, Yog, anything can be learned from the nature the best. You can learn even from an ant. An ant will teach you. You just keep on cutting its road. At one time it will come, it will climb on your finger, it will give you a bite. That is retaliation. Being kind does not mean that someone comes and kill you and you are kind, so you have not retaliated. That kind of kindness is of no use. You have never seen Ma Durga to sit kindly because she is practicing yoga. She was the first learner from Lord Shiva himself. When Lord Shiva faced Sati's suicide, the first thing he did was to abolish the root cause of it. Sati's father, the arrogance of the king. For that, he created demons. He initiated the highest form of violence himself. So don't give me this shit that my dharma teaches ahimsa. If to protect the dharma, if to protect myself, the arrogance, the violence is a required something, I will do it. And that never makes me incompatible to get to the truth. Rather, I am learning my steps to go towards the truth. Everything that we are being, we are alive for, is this body. If you can't save this body, then why you are alive for? How will you go to the truth? So the first kindness that you need to do is to save yourself. And when I'm talking about yourself, it is not only the physical body I'm talking about. I'm talking about your mental wellness. I'm talking about the wellness of your soul. So first, be kind to yourself. Don't accept shit from others. Don't change yourself. Don't change the way of your thinking just because someone needs you to change. Learn the truth. If you think you are wrong somewhere, accept it and move forward towards the righteous change that you need to be and more evaluated person of what you are today. That is the right way to do it. I have done it. That's why I am teaching you. At one point of time, I was a too arrogant person because I was sitting in one of the biggest chairs that can be held in this corporate world. So you can find out my arrogance. I was a lady from Asian origin and I was sitting on the topmost position that can be held but the European world. So I earned my arrogance. But I knew I'll have to climb down one day and the chair won't be staying with me as long as I live. So obviously, that taming down, that keeping the kindness within yourself, making yourself secluent, making yourself valuable is what is needed. That is the urge that makes you a better human being, a better animal, a better organism. That is all that we can do. For that, the second we need is mindfulness. And that is obviously what Yam teaches in the second part as Satya. Satya is mindfulness. Satya means to be truth first to your own self. You yourself will have to accept your flaws. You yourself need to identify your SWOT. That's the reason I asked you to do SWOT of yourself first. Because that is the requirement that these restrictions will be put for. In mindfulness, what we learn is to be mindful for even when you are sitting in the loo. Yes, you know, the best ideas clicks only over there inside the loo. So, you have to be mindful, you have to be cultivated in the worst position you are in. What will that happen? You see, suppose in previous days we used to go for wars. Still, we have war in our modern society, and the people who are going through it, they will say that they are mindful for each and every second. They are ready each and every second. Are you not going through a war? Our mind fights a war each nanoseconds. Will I do this? Will I not do this? Will I talk? Will I not talk? Will I challenge this person? Will I challenge the authority? Will I not? Am I capable of doing this? These all features are your wars. So, to fight these wars, you need to be mindful. You need to evaluate your position. You need to understand the scope of work that you have. This particular position is being mindful is equally required by a class 1 student as it is required by the prime minister position of the country. Both has to be equally mindful. The person who is a student in class 1 has to be mindful to understand his teachings, whatever he is getting from his school, from his parents, from his brothers, from his environment, his or her. Anyone. Over here, his means the being. I am not, we have gender equations in English as he and she. But when we speak about he, when we are defining he in Sanatan Dharma, it is for the gender equality. He means even the she. The sadhak. A sadhak is described as a sadhak or a sadhika, it is not said. It is a sadhak. It's a sadhak for both the beings. And even for today, the other genders, they are also sadhaks. Even the transgenders, they are also sadhaks. Anyway, so it is the gender neutrality. It is set up as he. Next comes a Satya. It's a non-stealing. Yeah, it is actually Asteya. Asteya. So it's terms as Asteya. Excuse me. I am under weather, so it's obvious the weather is changing here over here. So it is called non-stealing. Now non-stealing is you will say that non-stealing means not taking somebody's items without telling to him. That is called stealing. What if I say you non-stealing is also about when you steal someone's idea and impose that for your own betterment. That is also stealing. You are taking someone's time just for the sake that you want to talk to that person. You are stealing his time. That time he was supposed to do something else. But you are making that person sit with you. You are making that person talk forcefully with you. You are making that person serve you forcefully because you have come to his house without any such requirement. You don't require to. You are just doing a socialization. On your own behalf, you are doing it. You have never asked the other person whether he is actually willing to cater to you. He just dropped by. That is a stealing. You are stealing his time. You just go to a neighborhood and you just pluck a flower. That is also stealing. You are going to a certain shop. You are just going on talking with the shopkeeper for no use. There is no requirement. You are not purchasing something, but you are just bargaining. Window shopping. You are wasting your time. I think the biggest Stealing from someone you do is when you steal that time from that person. That was supposed, that time was meant to do something productive. When you are thinking something that is of no use, you are stealing that thought. You are stealing from yourself. You are harming yourself with your particular thought, with your own negativity. Now, suppose you are going and you are making that other person waste his fruitful time. Who is at harm? Now, understand this. Who is actually wasting what? You wasted his time. Yes. He had to sit with you. He had to say hi, hello, what you are doing. Will you have tea? Will you have some drink? 1 hour, 2 hour, you do some gossip. Nothing else. But what happened? Who had the karma? He will say you some dirty words. That person comes to me for nothing and it just is a waste of my time. He gave you a negative thought. Now that negative thought comes back to you. That is how the nature works. You went over there, you gossiped about some people, you gossiped about your neighbor, you gossiped about others, you gossiped about what the other person is doing, you heard about what you are saying, what others are saying about you. You carry those thoughts within your mind. Now you keep rotating. This person said me this. This person said me that. You are accumulating your karma. In anger, you get angry because you heard some gossips about yourself. You got anger. And yet this anger, even you are harming a small insect. Who knows tomorrow that insect will take birth in a different yoni, and that yoni will come back to bite you. This implicates even to my son. He has done something like that. So anyway, I'd like to give example of him because he's a very naughty person. Whoever knows him knows that. And right now he's into multifaceted. So I just give his example because after all, if I give the example of somebody else, that person will come after me. And if I give my example of my own son, he's not going to come back to me. He will, but that is in a different style that he will do it. So, I am playing safe. So, I am actually doing an ahimsa. So, I am taking care of myself. So, because if I say somebody, I point out to somebody, that person will obviously coming back for me. So, it's a, fair play. So, what I taught, I did that myself and I taught you. The next step we talk about is Brahmacharya. Now, Brahmacharya is in its own meaning. It's what is said not to get sexually attached with a different body. And I will mention this as a different body because these days it is not only the opposite sex. So, Brahmacharya, when we talk, it is not only about a physical something that we are talking about. In yoga, when I am talking about yoga, there are 3 to 4 planes. Actually, there are 7 planes we are talking about. The first form is the physical plane, your body. The second comes your mind. Third comes your soul. Fourth stands your consciousness. And the fifth comes your higher self. When you are aligned with the Paramatma himself. So first, this 8 limbs is not only about your physical body. You are not practicing the 8 paramparas with your physical body. You will have to involve your mind next, then your soul, then your consciousness and your super consciousness. So when this, after the super consciousness, even there are 2 forms which I will elaborate later on, because if I elaborate to you today, it is not going to go in your grasp, it will go away. So let's not talk about that right now. So in your daily life, you got to remain Brahmacharya. In Brahmacharya means, doesn't mean to have sex with another body. It also means restricting the sexual thoughts that comes within your mind. It also means touching your own body in appropriate way. It also means harming your own body with your sexual parts. There are people who plays with their own body. It has to be restricted when you are entering this kind of a sadhana. Brahmacharya also means catering only to your mother, the person who has given birth to you, as mother form. Rest everyone are your mother like or father brother like, mother sister like. Here we can segregate on the verge of gender alignment, that if you are a male person, for you every female is either your mother like or your sister like or your daughter like, according to the age choreographers. For the females, the person is either your father like, brother like, not husband like, or your son like. Your husband is only your husband who you are tied to legally and ritualistically. Over there, you are humbly devoted to that particular relationship, and you have to be loyal to that relationship. In even when you are a married couple, thinking sexual thoughts about other gents or other lady is abstaining from brahmacharya. You are standing on the road and a thought just crossed you that my female boss was looking, you know, very sexy today. That particular thought is also a karma when it comes to the level of judgment. There's a divine judgment I am talking about. I'm not talking about the social judgment. I'm not talking about the legal judgment. And who is the judge over here? Your mind. Your own soul is the judge. So you are judging yourself when you are entering in this path. Otherwise, whatever you are doing, you are doing. You don't care about what is happening. You have come to live, give birth, and go away. That's all that we see. But if you're a blessed person, if you're thinking about elaborating yourself, you're thinking about going futuristically higher self, then you'll have to do all these things. The next is aparigraha. Now, by aparigraha, we mean self-reliance. What I was telling you about. Doing ahimsa is about yourself first. Doing satya, being mindful, is about yourself first. So in aparigraha also, you will have to be selfful. You are not supposed to ask, hey, give me a glass of water please. Get up, take it. Don't order others for each and everything. That is aparigraha. You will have to do your own things yourself. Only if you are physically unable, you are so physically unable that you cannot go to the shop, you cannot go to do other things, you cannot maintain your own self, then you will be abstaining from doing aparigraha. You can't do it. So you are not following the yamas itself. Again, aparigraha goes from your mind to your body, from your body to your mind, and from mind to your soul. Actually, aparigraha goes from mind to body because your mind says, I am not in a mood to get up. Today I am feeling lazy, I don't want to cook, so just do a Zomato. Just take it from outside. Go to a supermarket, take up homemade food. That is aparigraha. So in aparigraha is you will have to be generous to yourself. You will have to cater yourself first. You will have to do each and every daily works of yours by yourself. I did practice it when I was starting my education. Apart of this, there are certain things that you need to do in your daily life, in your daily rituals. That is, your aspiration to grow should never stop. You will have to have a growth idea every time, every second boiling within your mind. That I will have to grow. I'll have to be a better self of myself. You are competing with your own self, and you will have to be more generous the next day. You will have to be more strategic the next day. You will have to be more mindful the next day. You will have to be more non-stealing the next day. Then that is how you evolve. You cannot stop doing what you are doing on the day one. But obviously, it will take you some time to change. But obviously, change will happen if you want to change. If you say that I am wanting to change but I can't change myself, you are not doing enough for yourself. So don't go back to the guru saying, help me, I can't do it. Guru is not going to help you. Especially if it is me like a guru, I am not going to help you. You got to sit, you got to do your exercises yourself to get my help. I can only bless you. A part of that, I can channelize your brain to do what you are doing. But I cannot work for you. I cannot feed you. I'm not a babysitter. So with this, I will like to end today's teachings. It's already 40 minutes. So I would like to end today's episode. So come back with the next episode and enjoy all your festivities. This is just a starting of the festivities that we are having. So enjoy and enjoy to the fullest. Be the best part of yourself in these festivities. That is what Sanatan teaches you. to be the better version of what you are today.